Test, test. Hello, guys. Good morning, everyone. Am I alive? Let's check. Let's check. So, check audio. Good. Yes. Video. Let's see. Show face. The tech geekers, nerds, they don't want to show face. Many of you anon guys. So, okay. So, we're going to talk random, okay? Xah Talk Show, today's topic. Random topic. So if you ask questions, I answer. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go random and do what I have to do. Actually, quite a few things to do. Okay. So for example, this is Emacs. There's here are the notes of things I need to do. So every 2 hours or so, I walk back and forth, taking my notebook and take screenshots on my website, read my website, review, and write down what I need to do. So here's a bunch of things. So I'm going to go through them. So this is Emacs, or press a key, you can view them in a dedicated application. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and tell you. So otherwise, you ask questions. Hello, Hank. Hello, Praveen. Number 1, pass. I want to build a pomodoro timer in Emacs. Where to start? I don't know what is pomodoro. Okay, you have to explain that. What is your favorite spreadsheet program? Spreadsheet. I haven't used spreadsheet for like 30 years. So a long time ago, in 1991, I was an expert of this spreadsheet called wingz. Okay, let's see if we can still find it. I'm sure you'll find it, but it takes some time. Okay, so but before we go into that topic, let me just double check last time. Video check, audio check. Am I good to go? So ping window shows my Emacs command and keystrokes, and yeah, okay, I'm good to go. So spreadsheet. So back in 1990, early 1990s, 91, I was using wingz spreadsheet. Okay, so this is on a Mac long ago. So let's see, vehicle for hire company. No, okay. So this is history. So back then, the most popular spreadsheet is Microsoft. What is the Microsoft one? But anyway, let's spreadsheet. Let's check the wingz spreadsheet. Yeah, wingz is a spreadsheet program that was developed by Innovative Software and later sold by Infomix in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Okay, so this was wingz was the best spreadsheet. So it's comparable to what's the Microsoft? Yeah, Microsoft Excel. Of course, that was the most popular and still is today. So in the 1990s, I was expert of wingz. I learned it. I mastered it. But since 1990s, I haven't used a spreadsheet. And before that, so there's a history, HyperCard, and HyperTalk. I also have used them, HyperCard on the Mac. And I'm not sure about HyperTalk. Procedural programming language, no, I haven't used that, but HyperCard. So this is, very popular back then. This is like cutting edge, well known, the best program. It's like interactivity. Back then you don't have videos, you don't have internet. I mean, you don't have interactivity on the computer. Like your computer is DOS, just like bunch of command text only. So HyperCard is one of the first graphical program and interactive on the computer. You can write notes or you can draw. So that's back then, early 1990s. So wingz is my application. Now, do they have a screenshot? Let's see if we can get a screenshot. wingz spreadsheet. there it is. Now I very much remember this diagram. I mean this illustration, this cover, because that's what wingz, software, the box. Back then it comes with a box when you buy software. Well, that is my favorite spreadsheet. Now, Pomodoro is a timer which make you work in interval like 40 minutes and 5 minutes break, okay? I don't care about that. Okay, so you are saying, there's a timer. In fact, Emacs has such a feature. So basically, you want to use your software, like on your computer, every 1 hour or two, it beeps and reminds you that you have to take a rest in typing. So let's see where there's such application on Emacs. Let's say not that. I think it's a package you have to install, but you can write one easily. So because you got the timer function in Emacs Lisp, or these are Emacs Lisp. Okay. So you are saying that you want to write such a application or something. Yeah, you can. I don't think it's difficult, but I don't care for that because I don't want tech geeking on top of tech geeking. Nerds like me or some of you guys, like we sit in front of computer 10 hours a day. I don't want another application or even within Emacs to manage your time and stuff. No. So what I do is you set up, just by alarm clock, there's a timer. Actually, these days I just use my iPhone or iPad, set a timer every 1 hour or 2 hours. It beeps. Then you get up, you press repeat, something like that, or cancel. Okay. So I don't want another like timer to manage your timing in your computer. Okay. You can do that for Emacs fans. A lot Emacs fans do that, but not me. Okay, that's your questions. 2 of your questions. Okay, so now let me just walk through my stuff I need to do. Okay, so these are the notes I've taken. These are actually from my Surface tablet. Okay, actually I can show you. Let's open it. Okay, so keyboard block. Okay, Xah keyboard block, and you need to search. Okay, so I need to expand this window. Yeah, so you can see the side panel. Okay, search keyboard, Surface, Microsoft Surface. Microsoft Surface Pro 2015. That is one of the old computer I have. So I take this and walk around back and forth basically and write down. Take notes. Fantastic. This is fantastic for taking notes. But the Microsoft pen sucked. It sucks. You buy it $100 or something back then and it breaks. But however, the tablet is actually fantastic. In fact, so I've been using this one for by now 10 years. I was quite surprised, amazed it actually works still. So I could, but since then there are so many laptops and notebooks. So, but anyway, I think I can recommend this. I was surprised I'm still using it. So you can, write notes when you walk around. That's what I do. And write in Chinese. In fact, I did this in one of my live stream. In fact, we can do it now. So, for example, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and open it. And there we have, here is my tablet. So you need to open it in Paint, in Snip and Sketch. Actually, this is the best.你会不会写中文 It's been a long time I have written Chinese. So this means Chinese. This means, can you write Chinese? Okay, so let's increase and say, can you write? Okay. 中文 Chinese. Okay, that is a demonstration of the writing tablet. So save it. Okay, save it already exists. Yes, replace, close that. Back here, shrink. Okay. So another question, Praveen says, you use Lisp for Emac Lisp. No, I don't use Lisp. You watch my video often, so you should know I use all my own packages. Basically, if it's not written by me, I don't use it. In fact, I don't use any, so here is all my packages, CSS, AutoHotkey, diet for directory, Emac Lisp find, and stuff like keys, and HTML mode, JavaScript mode, lookup internet, Linden scripting language mode, math input, and so on, PHP, and so I use basically all my packages, and plus if you go to init, so if you go to init, I have like few thousand lines of code, my personal init. So here is a directory of all my other init Emac Lisp files. These are personal to me, so I don't use. So if you go to my, let's see if we can go to .emacs. So this is my .emacs. Yes, go there, and go to alpa, which is your packages repository. What do I have? ChatGPT. Okay, this is for interaction with AI chatbots, which I haven't been using. I talked about it about a month ago, installing it and demonstration of a local artificial intelligence bot. Interaction via Emacs. So, but I don't use it now because I turned out if you install local ones, you really need a very powerful machine, like $10,000 machine. Otherwise, it's the performance is worse than just using a website, Grok or ChatGPT and so on. So I don't use it. And transient, this I don't use either. This is installed by the GPT. So I actually do not install any other people's packages. I don't need to because I've been coding Emac Lisp for like 20 years by now. Okay, close that, showing browser. Okay, so that's Surface Book, Surface Tablet we talked about. So go to today's talk show, go there, open it, and let's paste the link of the things we talked about. So I also demonstrated this pen, and I can show you back to pen input devices. I can show you which one is that. So by now I have bought many of these different type of stylus or pens, and there are different types, and I talked about them a few times in my video. So which one is the one I'm using now? It's so this one, Renaissance, is actually the best if you have Microsoft Surface. Okay, by the way, if you are watching this offline, play at 1.5 speed because I talk slowly. That's better that way, more composed and logical, and I ramble. So play at 1.5 speed minimum. So let me show you. So more Chinese there. So let me show you the one I have on my desk. Active. Where is that? So this. Okay, I'll find it somewhere. So this one is just a generic tablet, so-called universal stylus. It's basically just function like your finger, which is usable, but an active stylus is much better. Okay, so I want to find my tablet now. Is it somewhere here? Okay, Raphael, that's just a pen for Surface tablet. So drawing tablet there. So this one is what I have. China Cheapo Huiyang H640p. So I bought it like 5 years ago, 2021. Okay, that's what I have, and works well. It's wired. You can get them wireless, of course. So let's copy that, paste, okay, Linkify, and I observed your Lisp automatically adds brackets around function. How do you do that? Oh God. That's because I'm using a Xah Lisp mod. So for example, press. There it is, Xah Emac Lisp mod. So go to the source code, open it. So there it is, a total of 2,000 lines of code. Go to the top, and if you love it, open the URL, show in browser, Xah Emac Lisp mod. You can buy it, pay me, donate to me $30, I'll send it to you. For 10 years, all my packages are free, but I die of hunger. Nobody give a shit, and every day they just ask you questions. Xah, I need to do this one. How do you do this? That's the nature of open source. Okay, so you can so Xah Emac Lisp mod. So that's my mod. So when you want to code Emac Lisp, like right now, D for defun, press a key, it becomes defun. Press a key again, it becomes the full template. So all the brackets are automatic added. So for example, another example, let's see what point, okay? Point, you want the current cursor position, okay? So that function is called point. So you just type P, that's an abbreviation built in Xah Emac Lisp mod. So P become point, press again, becomes the full function. So in the case of point, you can describe function. It doesn't take any argument, you see. So it's just like that. In other case, for another example, buffer substring no properties. So B buffer substring no properties, BSNP, space, it becomes that, space becomes that, with the arguments. So it tells you that you need a position, let's say position 1, and so the position in the beginning of buffer, that's 1, and whatever end is, let's say 10. So if you run this code, it will just grab the first 10 characters. It returns a string, okay? So that's how I do it. And press a key, it becomes prettified. So all the commands you can see in the pink window, all the past commands, okay? Okay, let's just do a screenshot of this, and let's get back to, when I get a job, you'll pay me. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's close that. Okay, so we open that, open the link, copy the file path, close, and put that in today's talk show. Okay, show in browser. And this is my coffee setup for about this year. So every morning I get up, I make coffee. The way I make coffee is via this manual dedication, because, well, I could, because I don't have money. Well, I could buy, coffee machine is not too expensive, $20, $30, but but I didn't have that money. Anyway, I make coffee, so manually, filter coffee beans. I mean, this is ground coffee. Coffee is the white man's thing, complicated. ground coffee. So you have ground coffee, meaning it's grind, the past tense of grind. So it's ground, meaning that they grind the coffee beans, pre-grinded. So you call it ground. Ground coffee, it just means, it has been grounded. Basically, it became powder. So you put this, that, and then you put that, then you put organic, expensive, Costco, organic, American elite milk. My life's quality has been upgraded status. So, and another important ingredient is the honey, elite honey from Costco, and also elite tea, not from tea bags. So every day I make that, and here is the boiling water kettle. That's the classic name for that is kettle, but now we have upgraded with technology. So this is electric, and that's another China cheapo. Everything you buy is cheap from China, and they work fine. Okay, so that's my coffee. So let's get back. I want to work on my So I want to work on my recursive edit. So I need to work on this fast because there are so many things to do. Recursive edit. So that means let's skip that. Okay. So actually, let's skip that and skip that. Let's get into something more interesting. Okay, more line. That's about Emacs. Okay, so I need to update more line display, meaning, oh God, so for each of these. So this is part of my Emacs tutorial, and what this node means that replace. You see, this is a H2 header, then this red are H3 header. So these nodes are usually just meaningful to me. So this means replace replace all this H3 header, promote them to H2. So each of these section becomes a section, so this becomes a section, this becomes a section, so that way it's easier to see. This page is telling people about this mode line, this thing, this bar in Emacs. So these are notes for me to to do. Okay, let's skip it because there's a lot to do. So Simple, a new question from Simple Postman. Hi Xah, have you used an e-ink display tablet for an extended period of time to save your eyes? No, I haven't actually, so I never got the chance to try e-ink. Actually, I never seen it. I probably seen it for a few minutes, in store or something. From a friend, I think. So, but I never used e-ink myself. It would be interesting. I would be interested to get one. Dose, hope your days are going well. Thank you, Dose. Okay, so I need to work on this. A lot to do. So let me just do them. Okay, so this mode line page, I need to change the H2. How shall we do it? Let's just, I'll probably have to work them offline as well. So H3, so you can see, so you can do list matching lines, so you can see all the matching lines. So that's pink window show my commands. So with list matching lines, so you can see. Now I need to, so the pink window is, I need to adjust my head. Let's see, let's do that. So we can have more space for the pink window. Hide, show, unlock, move down, lock, and okay, so move down. Can you move down? Logitech, yeah, something like that. Okay, so now more room for the pink window. History of things. Okay, and now you just see top of my head. Tedious setup. Okay, I think that's good. So H3, so this H3, so just call a command. First of all, delete the section showing browser. So I remove the section boxes. Back to Emacs. Now call a command H3 to H2. There it is. Do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Okay. Undo, do, redo, showing browser. So you can see H3 becomes H2. Now each one of these has, are more prominent. Now let's add the section boxes. So I want all H2 to have a section by themselves. Okay, so delete the reference. You can see at the bottom, the reference is still a section. You got a box. So we just remove that. Refresh. You see, good. Now press, add sections to all H2. You can see the command there. Now, showing browser, fantastic. Mode line display meaning, file encoding, and new line convention. That's the first part of this mode line. Okay, and then so anyway, that's one thing. So this. Okay, next, make new page. Okay, so that one. Okay, so more update today's date. So you can see it becomes 23rd. Before it was 22nd. Showing browser, you can see the date has been updated. Last updated date. And then, okay, so next thing I want to do, so update code to website. So let me show you that, okay? So, okay, what is the key? I believe that. There it is, Xah update code to website. So go to the source code. So here's the code. So what this code is that, I have like 1,000 Emacs command I wrote, such as this one. Or, for example, what is this one? Perl format buffer. So this formats Perl code. Okay. So if I update this page, so usually for each command I have written in Emacs, I have a corresponding page to show it. Now, in this example, it's actually a talk show, because we try to code it on the fly during live. So this is in July 9th, a few weeks ago. So we started to code it, but we didn't finish. So here, so you can see where's the code. Here's the code incomplete. So usually I do a live stream coding, but this problem turns out a bit more complex. So I didn't finish in 1 hour because I need to talk about lots of other things. So I code it offline, because sometimes when it gets esoteric, I code offline because people don't understand what you're doing. So anyway, what this code does, for each command, I usually have a corresponding web page. So usually I want to update. So whenever I modify the command, I want to be able to press a button, then it automatically open the URL and update the corresponding code. For example, for this one, it's here. You see, it's incomplete. And version 2025, July 9th. You see, but my current version, so close that. The current version is, actually I should change the date. So, July 23rd, okay? So now this code is finished, so I can now press a key. It will update that page, and you can see this part will be new, okay? Let's do that. So the key I have set up for this command is this, let me show you that, okay? So ddw runs this command, okay? I can show you Xah key binding, and this is my Emacs init file. So let's search for update. There it is. You see W key, W for Xah update code to website. So close that. So now I just press that key, and this page will be updated. Okay. Now check the date. Okay. Press. Okay, so Xah update code to website by line not found. Oh, Jesus. This got an error because it's trying to search for byline. Now, I don't understand why byline is not found, but it updated anyway. You see, it updated the page anyway. It opened the page and updated. So let's go to the messages buffer. Why does it say byline not found? Okay, show all buffers. Help occur messages. Xah open external app. Okay, occur. Wait, where's the error came from? Refresh. It says byline not found. What do you mean byline not found? Occur, close, messages, search for byline. Okay, there. Program Xah update code to website, byline not found. Where does that came from? I don't know. So let's search. Okay, it must be from a function it is calling. Okay, so yeah, but why? Oh, there it is. You see, so every time after it update the page, it will also update by xahlee, date. So that is this update article timestamp. But in my talk show page, usually I don't have by xahlee date because that talk show there's always a date and it's fixed. So that's why when calling this command update Xah article timestamp, it says byline not found. See, that's why. But however, if you go to the page has been updated already. So where's the page? Did we close it? Yeah, you can see here. Okay, now you just need to syntax color it. Do it. Failed pre. What? Search failed pre. Oh God, what? Oh. Well, God, we run into problems. You see, the reason we want to see, if you go to the page, you can see that the code has already been updated. Now refresh. You see? But now there's a problem because the code actually contains the pre-code. This is a nesting problem that occurs, a nasty problem occurs in programming languages all over. Because we are in HTML and you got a pre-tag, but however, the content of the pre-tag actually contains other pre-tags, like here. So part of it become HTML. That's why you got you become this funky thing. So that's why my command trying to syntax color this part is not working, because it's trying to find end of pre. It's trying to find the end of pre and basically it found there, but it's incorrect. So oh god, so this gets into another kind of general issue. I need to find a solution. Okay, so well, but the workaround is that let's not do it for now. Okay, let's not do it. Okay, let's not make any change to the file. I'll have to figure out what to do. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what to do when you have pre inside. This is actually fairly nasty problem. There's no general solution because the issue is, how do you determine if you have a piece of code in HTML inside a pre tag, but the code itself contains the pre tag. So the issue is, how do you then properly determine whether yeah, actually you can do that. So let's wait. So we basically, what we do is we open this page, find the pre tag, then jump to the bottom of the matching pre tag, then remove everything inside it, then paste the code of this code. Then we need to syntax color this, and when you do syntax color, basically it needs to find every pre-tag block of text. Okay, and skip if the code contains pre-tag, ignore it. You basically want to, so that's a problem, you see. Let me explain why is it a problem. For example, if you have a Emacs, so whatever code, okay, so if you have, let's say, Python, whatever, and your Python code, let's do it, okay, let's just do it. Print, let's say, pre that, okay? Run it. You see, it just prints that. That's a valid code. Prettify the code. Okay. Run it and paste the code here, output here. So that's a valid Python code. Now put it back. So you can see here we got a page, okay, that's you cannot even select it now because, where is it? Search for Python. Yeah, here. You see, so you got the Python code there. Now you need to syntax color this part, because otherwise this gonna interfere with rendering. So the problem is, how do you do it? How do you so you find the beginning of the pre-tag, then you need to find the end of pre-tag. So the question is, how do you do it? Okay, basically it is impossible, because in our case you can say, oh, let's just search for the end of pre-tag plus a empty line, right? But your Python code could include an empty line there. Then it doesn't work again. So the issue is there is no way to automate this. Okay, that's a very interesting problem. This kind of problem occurs over and over again. This kind of problem also occur with string escape. Okay, or it also happen with HTML ampersand something. Okay, like so-called character entity. Okay, so let's see what is my command to encode ampersand entity decode. So we need to encode tab JH. There it is. Okay, so basically the situation is, so let's say if you have another ampersand, the situation is that when you have a syntax and it is somehow nested, it is nested in some sense, then it is impossible to tell whether it is actually nested or not, or this is literally what you mean. Okay, so this happens in syntax, in the pre-tag, in HTML syntax. Basically, when it happens whenever you have the language that contains the language itself. Okay, so in our case, we have HTML that contains HTML. In the escape case, you have escape. That means a new line, right? But what if you have a Python code that tries to parse a string, and that string contains this thing? So basically, you don't know the meaning of that. Whenever meaning of that when this line is nested inside Python. Okay, something like that. And same thing with the ampersand. So so this kind of problem is generic programming problem, especially with the escape. For example, if you want to use regular expression to search for regular expression, then that's all hell bent. It becomes impossible. You want to search for a regular expression. Let's say, if you have regular expression, let's say something date followed by ABC. Something date followed by, let's say, something, what is Python's syntax for word? Okay, W. That is a common regular expression in Python, in Perl, in JavaScript, in Java, and almost all languages. Regular expression, that's digit sequence one or more, let's say add one or more. Okay, then word one or more. So this is your code, and let's say you have this code somewhere in your Python or JavaScript or whatever. Well, then one day you need to find all occurrences where you have this regular expression in your code base, thousands of files. Okay, what do? Well, then you need to use the regular expression to match this pattern. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Do you guys understand? Okay, I'm going into this very deep technical details. I can actually show an example. I can turn this into Python code and demonstrate it. But I don't know if you guys are interested. Okay, anyway, we encounter this programming problem, nested syntax. That's when you have a programming language syntax nested within that programming language. Okay, this is a general problem. and basically it's unsolvable. Okay, so that's one thing. So let's see, next question. I'm curious about your thought on literal programming, Xah. How you organize. I have all my system config, even programs other than Emacs, all in org files. It's like cleaner version of GNU store. Okay. My opinion on literal programming is that I think it's shit. Okay, so why? Because it's too much ado, very complex. It's created by Donald Knuth, who is an academic. Perl part, okay, that's one of the Asian article about how Perl documentation system is not literal programming, because back then for 10 years, the Perl's idiots, they think that the Perl's common system is literal programming. So here's an article that is written by it's not written by me. So this guy, Mark Jason Dominus, is another very kind of coding celebrity back then in year 2000 among Perl programmers. I think he wrote a book. I forgot what exactly he does, but he was one of the popular guys. Like today on Hacker News, one of the like celebrity, well-known coders in the Perl community. So he wrote an article to debunk the common belief among the Perl fuckheads. The Perl, today you have similar, like the JavaScript fuckheads or the Lisp, not Lisp today, the Rust, the Rust fuckheads. They're gonna tell you, and Python fuckheads. Guido van Rossum, they're gonna tell you how things should be, what you should do in this situation, So back then, Perl is the most popular language anyway. So he wrote an article debunk that notion, how part is literal programming. Literal programming by itself is another drama shit, because literal programming, it's usually, come with a jargon. Literal programming, what does it mean? Usually all these fads and fashions, they always have jargons. Okay, but anyway, it's created by Donald Knuth. Now, seems like I don't have a dedicated article, but I talked about in my live stream a few times, I think. I think it's shit, okay? It's impractical. But the idea is that literal programming by this Donald Knuth academic is that everything program should be thought of as a human communication, like an essay. Instead of coding, oh God, I need to get, can I show some code? Let's see, instead of like code, you should actually make it that, so the code is, so you should make it so it becomes a, like writing an essay for other human to understand, not just code for the computer. But the code part should be like a side note. So anyway, that's the idea. The code should be essays for other human to read. The art of programming. The Donald Knuth, idiots. Donald Knuth is not an idiot. He's a very smart and well-known, computer scientist. But he's a nerd. Okay, like us, like me, like you guys. But however, he's a particular type of nerd, that his ideas are often like the classic meaning of nerd, like inconsequential, like technical and impractical, that kind of nerd, which is also different from the Unix fuckheads, Unix idiots, the Unix fuckheads, like the Unix philosophy and small is beautiful and that total crap. Anyway, Donald Knuth is usually the type of nerd that that has ideas that's impractical and academic and kind of that like that. Okay, and he also created tech, which is another worst shit possible. Okay, tech la tech. I ranted about this like for 20 years. I'm too old. I don't. The tech pestilence. Why tech la tech sucks? Well, the suckest fuck possible. It became popular. Why? Because it's free. Embraced by the Unix idiots and fuckheads and the C and C++ coders. Okay, I talked about this, so many times. It's been 20 years. This article is written in 2004. Once in a while, it's very, it's one of my popular articles. Like people talking Stack Overflow. I mean, not Stack Overflow. In Slashdot and Hacker News. Come and go. This website come and go. So this is one of my article. Okay, and I talked about it in several of my live streams. So you can read it. So this is another creation by Donald Knuth. So anyway, literal programming. The idea is that you want to write an essay for other people to understand. So, and it became kind of code-ish, a niche code, especially among the Emacs users, especially among the org mod users. I want to call them idiots, but I probably shouldn't. Emacs, org mod, org. So if you don't know org mod, so this org mod tutorial, org mod work with source code. So this is org mod for working with source code, org mod markup. So org mod is like kind of like markdown mod for, and kind of like HTML for marking up your text. Okay, so anyway, so what I'm saying is that the literal programming is particularly loved. There's a community by the org mod people, org mod lovers. Org mod is not bad, okay, but I don't use it. So literal programming, and so literal programming, you got this you got this bunch of concepts like weaving and whatnot, history and philosophy, concept advantages, contract with documentation generation and workflow, creation of macros, and program as a web. Web, not the internet. It doesn't mean internet. It means like spider web, interconnections. So what's their? They got a bunch of jargons. Let's see. Yeah, web, C web, no web, whatever. Fuck. Emacs org mod there, right there, mentioned. Coffee script, Maple worksheet, Wolfram notebook. Wolfram. No, we don't want that. Oh, God. But anyway, if you get into, they got this weave notion and de-weave and shit. So it's very popular among Emacs users, among Emacs org mod users. So what they do is that, like you said, so your Emacs init file, so this is my init file, you make it like literal programming. So you have lots of text that tells you, just like my HTML. You have part of code embedded in HTML, but most of it is human readable part. Then you can use the built-in function engine that will, you can evaluate part of the code while the human readable doesn't evaluate. It's like the reverse of typical program. So here's my init file. So these are comments for human to read. Here's a code, comments, code. But literal programming is like reverse. So code, you have special tag to make, say this is code, but otherwise it's common, like something like that. Okay, I never actually got into. Okay, so, but it's very popular among Emacs org users. And my opinion of that is it's shit. Do not use it. Okay, keep things simple as possible. Because if you want to do literal programming, you first of all you need the org mod. Org mod is like, let's start org mod. Okay, it takes some time to load because it's like 10,000 million lines now. You see, now it's loading. Takes few seconds. 5, 6, 7. Is it still running? 8. Wait. 8, 9, 10. That take a fucking 15 seconds to load org mode. Okay. then you need extra for literal programming. Then so I don't recommend it. Too complex. Okay, you are coding Emacs Lisp. All these init file are Emacs Lisp. Stick with Emacs Lisp. Emacs Lisp by itself is like 1,000 pages of documentation manual. Okay, you don't, and so I don't recommend org mod or literal programming. I think it's shit. But it's very popular, so you can follow other Emacs YouTubers, other Emacs bloggers. For example, Xah. Xah is using org mod very much, and you can see all her code. Let's see, what is it? So search Xah Chu. Okay, she interviewed me like 10 years ago. She's a great person. So, but let's show her page. Okay, so she's a very well-known Emacs user, and she writes lots of like notes, much more organized than mine. Mine is just scribbles. But let's go to her blog. Okay, so, dead link. Oh God. What? Okay, I need to update that. So let's see, Xah. Is she still on Twitter? Let's see. Oh, she removed all her Twitter stuff, I guess. I suppose this happened a few years ago. She now removed all her Twitter stuff. Because for some reason, these people, they don't like Elon Musk, and they hate Trump, like tremendous hatred. I think, anyway, I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, I think Xah Chua is a great person. She also has helped me when I needed it. Okay, I think she's a great person, and she's like blogging nonstop, right? Still up to date. You see, July 2nd, today, 2025. So she's a prodigious blogger, and she also writes Emacs news, like summarize all the happening of Emacs on the web. So I think she moved to the other Mastodon something. So anyway, she uses org mod, and in fact you can search for let's search for her literal programming. Can you? So how do I search JavaScript library about topic? So where is the turn on JavaScript? Yeah, so literate programming, literacy training, literate programming. Okay, looking into literate programming 2003. You see, this is 20 years old, modified 2013. So you can look up her, and she has her entire Emacs init on GitHub in this literal programming stuff. So anyway, I don't use it. Okay, I think that's enough talk today. Maybe so. we digressed into this topic, but actually I haven't, I got tens of notes I need to go through, but I didn't get even one of them. Okay, so that's about literal programming. So let's see what else. Francis, hi. Haven't been to Slashdot for years. Yeah. GPS. Hi, I'm currently using EXWM, Emacs X Windows Manager. That's another thing. I think it's shit. It's very complex. So the idea of EXWM, which stands for Emacs X Window Manager, is that instead of running Emacs inside a windowing system in the operating system, you run Emacs, then the browsers and the other things, becomes a pane inside your Emacs. Okay, that's what this Emacs X Window Manager does. That's a package you have to download. So Emacs, your Windows, your browser, and everything becomes inside Emacs. That is very complex shit. Very complex and complicated to the power of complexity. Fuck. Okay. To even make that work. And why do you want to do that? Well, to me, there's not much reason. Okay. Emacs is an application. Just let it be. Okay, you do that. You try to make the Windows X windowing system inside Emacs. You get lots of huge of complexities, and you got lots of other problems. Like, can you play a video inside it, or something? You got all sort of problems. But people do that because, well, it's cool. But I have seen people doing that and using it well. But not for me. Maybe I'm too old. Yeah, not for me, because it becomes very extremely complex, running X11 inside Emacs. And what happens if, today you have this so-called X11 replacement, right? What is that called? I always forgot the name. X11 replacement called stupid. No, not okay. So what's that thing? I always forgot the name. Okay, let's go to X11, one of the sickest the most crap software in computing history. That is the Unix X11. A scum by the Unix fuckheads and by the C fuckheads. The first, the worst crap design protocol in computing history. That is the X11 shit. Okay, you can read about it in, there's a popular article I talked about. Okay, I need to show it then. Okay, let's go to search. Let's go to Xah code search X11 disaster. Okay, by Don Hopkins. One part of the Unix Haters Handbook. Very famous book. Okay, X11, the first crap, a scum by the Unix fuckheads. Worse than Windows. Okay, a lot of people hate Windows, because it's shit and so on. But But Unix began first. I extremely hate and despise Unix and C and these people. So why are we mentioning it? Oh yeah, the replacement. They've been wanting to replace it for 20 years, 30 years. because of this article, actually. So this article came out in 1994, okay? This article came out in 1994. The X Windows Disaster by Don Hopkins. Very popular, well known. Then people start to replace it. Then it's difficult because then there's a impetus. Everything is already written in X11. So if you create a new, then nobody's gonna adopt it. Then you need a backward compatibility. X11 layer makes it more complex. So that's why Unix been stuck with it even today. But then today there's a replacement called, I talked about this a few times. So for some people, they probably, I'm just repeating, talking about the same thing. So let's see, the user interface, the fucking scum, limitation and criticism, the fucking scum, Let me tell you guys, okay, this is Wikipedia. When it began, Wikipedia by now is like 20 years old. It began around 2003, something like that, okay? When it began, when people criticize, they get banned. I mean, they get erased, okay? The Unix scums, the Unix and C fuckheads, they lie. They don't let you, talk about why it's bad, okay? Whenever you say that, they kind of try to remove it. They fight with you, The Wikipedia edit war. You guys know about this edit? You can edit Wikipedia. So I've been editing Wikipedia in 2004 to 2008 something, okay? And then I stopped because then it's like it's just like nerd fight, keyboard warriors, you edit I edit, I give reasons why you are wrong. And then we go to another guy, we appear to other admin and blah, blah, blah. And, it's an info war. So in the beginning, here's what I'm saying, okay? In the beginning, let's say the first 5 years or the first 10 years of Wikipedia. So that's about 2002 to 2008, let's say. Any article about Unix, if you dare to say, oh, by the way, it's actually not like, that good. Here are the reasons why it sucks. People revert your edit, these Unix fuckheads, okay? They revert your edit. That's what happens for 10 more than 10 years. Then politics, then deep state got involved. Then it's about politics, about about war in Middle East or elsewhere. You can say about China. Whenever you try to say something, they revert it. By the deep state, they have millions of dollars into it. So anyway, the Unix fuckheads. Okay, so let's go back to, I was trying to remember what's a replacement. You guys know, every time I talk about this, I kept forgetting. I can remember the name if I just concentrate for a while. So the replacement is called, and the replacement got a huge amount of drama too, with today's transgender stuff. Like half of them are coded by the trans stuff. Competitors, what? Wayland, fucking stupid Wayland, okay? That's the name, Wayland. But, look at their logo. This is like the late Marlene Jen Zoomer logo. They have lost the concept of beauty. So instead of something like more sharp and definite and structured, like the X11 logo, which is pretty good. This is great logo, okay, X11. But the Wayland people, the Zoomer idiots, the trans, whatever, anything goes, they lost the generation that grew up with the fucked up internet, the deep state internet. They swipe their phone every day. So they lost the concept of beauty. They don't know what it is. So they are and they are into animes and porn. And their logo is this ugly fuck. What the fuck is this? This is representative of them and their kind of like their culture and their meme stuff. Like every day, like on Xah Discord, I don't have it on. Okay, Discord. I got you guys followers. They post memes, and these memes are just ugly shit. They never post like beautiful, like interesting and beautiful. It's always like ugly shit. It's this Zoomer generation, and the men become incompetent. They become impotent. Today's men. Are they still men? Because they cannot have children. They got all sort of problems. You got microplastic problem, and on and on. And then, of course, then the trans. Oh, you got a trans right. How can you say that we got gay rights and trans right in marriage and stuff? So but now they got a generation. They can have a population something. Okay. Then the deep state, then every stuff. Anyway, so Wayland logo, digression into their logo. What an ugly fuck. Okay. So anyway, Wayland. So back to what we were. Why are we talking about this? Because you mentioned you are running Emacs in this EXWM, right? Which is the windowing system X11 or whatnot, or videos or inside Emacs. Like Emacs is your main system, and then XE browsers and whatever inside it. So question. Today there's a Wayland and become actually replacing by default X11. My question to you is, can EXWM run Wayland? Answer that. Okay, I'm curious. I'm pretty sure no. So this brings back my point, GPS. Okay, my point is that I don't do those kind of things. Bring EXWM, X11 inside Emacs, configure it. I don't do that because it just makes things more complex. And you got lots of edge problems, like the Wayland today is very popular, and replacing by default is the main windowing system. But if you are using EXWM, I think you cannot use it, right? Right, so it's based on X11, that's right. So you cannot use Wayland, so you got issues. Then you need to upgrade. Then, because your Linux is using Wayland, oh my God, then you cannot use that system anymore. Then forget your, the config you did for a month or 2 or 3 on Linux. This is the Zoomer youngling thing. So you're just gonna spend your days just config your Emacs, your Linux every day because you got nothing to do, which is part of the experience of young people. That's what you learn things. You learn about technology. Which I did when I was younger, 30 years ago. So Diego says, I agree with Xah that the OS window manager is better. Actually, taking Xah challenge helped me with my wristband. Oh yeah, that tiling window system. That's another thing. All the Linux people, you gotta use tiling window system. The Zoomer generation, rise your computer, rise. And then memes and lots of memes. Windows suck less, everything sucks. GPS as how Xah is, look, gotta take it with large grain of salt. GPS has been around here before, I'm pretty sure. I guess he's not into anime. No, I was into anime, just not you guys' generation. GPS. Now, I don't remember who you are, GPS, but I think you were in my channel before. But like, how old are you? You know, animation. Let's talk about animation. Okay, actually, okay. So xahlee.info. Open it. Go to my website. Xah code, and scroll down. This is ChatGPT. Says I'm the greatest computer scientist. Okay, then scroll down. ChatGPT says you need to pay me. Okay, Patreon me, Amazon gift card me, PayPal me. Okay, if you work in a job, just pay me. 100 would be great. 100 a year. Okay, thank you guys. Then you go to, this is xahlee.info. Then click on that. That gets you to xahlee.org, which is my original website. From the domain is from year 2000, but my website began in 1995. Okay, so on this page, then you go to arts. Okay, then what are we talking about? Oh, anime. Okay, not arts. Okay, well, you go to arts. Okay, then you xahlee.org search. Anime. Oh, you need to turn on JavaScript. Oh, I forgot. Now, make sure my website can always have JavaScript on. Refresh. xahlee.org. Anime girls, USA flag. Glimpse of panties in Japan anime. Okay, so this is my xahlee.org. So xahlee.org is all kind of topics that's not technical. So when it's technical topics like mathematics, programming, that's xahlee.info. Anything else is xahlee.org. And on xahlee.org, the stuff there, some of them, if I show it, Google is gonna ban me. So I gotta be careful which page. So anyway, The Ultimate Teacher, anime, 1988, okay? This is when I was watching anime, so 1990s and 1980s when I was 10 something. Not anime, but so-called manga by the white people, manga. In Chinese, it's called 漫画, okay? But, so am I into anime? Yes. But not the anime you guys know about. Okay, so this is a great one. This is like, oh my God, this is so hot, so racy, back then. Of course, today you got millions of girls on Chatterbait 24/7. Okay, but back then this is, oh my God, this is, hot. Then according to the conservatives, how can you, this is offensive, how can you show girl like that? Back. And okay, so this is one of the anime, but that's not all. So animation, let's go there. So I enjoyed, okay, there's some Disney, and this is real animation, that I enjoy that, the Spirited Away. And then there's quite a few Ghost in the Shell. And there are others, okay, but I guess I haven't. I think I had a page about Japanese anime, like a collection. Well, yeah, I have written a lot about these kind of things. So let's show those page, okay? The Japanese anime, Japan got this culture of these kind of things, okay? Japan. It's funny. You see it like often, and you don't know is that is this accidental? Then okay, I don't want to go. If I talk about these things, pretty soon YouTube's gonna ban me. So usually I try not to, unless I still need to go to Odyssey, find another live stream platform. But we were trying to find anime. Oh yeah, so that belongs to the art section. Okay, then you can see a lot anime, Xah Arts. Okay, then oh yeah, so here is the anime I watched when I was 10 something. Okay, all of these. Okay, so Candy, you can see a video clip of it. This is fantastic. When I was 10 something, I was, we were crazy, like whatever you guys watch. So we watch this every day in Taiwan. This is Candy in English name. So this is back in 1980s or 1970s, 1975, okay? You can go to Wikipedia and you can read about it. So that's one of them. Then there is the adventures of Hunch the Honeybee. We were, so when I was younger, 10 something, I watched this every day. So exciting, it's like, so that's, so these are 1970s and 1980s anime. Okay, and the Triton of the Sea, okay, this lovely, okay, you can see clip of it. And then this one and quite a few. So all these are when I was like 10 something, around 10, 9, 11. Then there's quite a lot. Okay, so those are anime, but then so these are broadcast in Taiwan TV. But besides these, there's also comics, Japanese comics, and I also have articles about it. Okay, so let's show it. Let's see if I can search Xah Arts search 009. Okay, okay, I don't want to, on xahlee.org, I got all sort of things I don't want to show. Okay, so this one, for example, this is anime you are talking about. Like, do I like anime? Yes, very much. So I found this is called Cyborg 009 from 1980s when I was 15. So very much love this. Okay, I think that's it for today. Do say your favorite is from 1960s. GPS is 20 years old. Okay. So how long have I been talking? How many people watching? 14. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Because I think chat is, yeah, well, my audience is kind of mixed. I got teens, I also got older, like professional, and I also got mathematicians, professors. Sometimes they watch my live stream, or sort of in between. Evangelion, yeah, I never watched Evangelion though. GGG no Kataro. Okay, I don't know what is that. I used to watch Candy back in the late 80s. Wow, in Spain. Hey, Dan. Bye, guys. Have a good day. We shut down in 1 minute. Okay, so then I'm gonna paste all these links back to my talk show. Yeah. So I wrote this page. This is nostalgic for nostalgic reasons. Like when you are young, like today, you are teen or 20 something. But one day you'll become 40. Okay, you'll have family or whatever. Then you may remember your childhood. So that you have memories of the cartoons you've seen. So that's when so 30 years or 40 years from today, you will feel the need to watch whatever you are seeing today. And you'll remember, there's a guy, Xahlee, I used to watch on YouTube. He's talking about crazy stuff. Bye, guys.